He's got quite a nasty fracture of the mid-shaft of his femur.
On this episode...
Everything's just crumbled in the middle of him.
Yeah, not attached.
Now he's either been kicked or he's been
Crushed.
run over or crushed in some way.
Yeah.
In terms of fractures that he could get, it's just about the worst. This is uncharted territory. We're not used to trying to repair fractured legs of lambs. We don't know that we can actually help him.
But first...
Sarah, can we get 2 10mm syringes of warm saline, please? He's very cold, he's very dehydrated, and it just looks as though he's in a bit of shock as well. That's just going to try and give his system a bit of a kickstart. Unless we can lift it out of its doldrums and really get it going, then he just stands no chance.
What have we got here?
That's the little Joey.
Okay. Has he got much hair?
No.
No.
He's really little.
Okay.
Somebody found him on the side of the road. They kept him at their house for 3 days, feeding him cow milk, and he's really just not well. He's really dehydrated.
What I'll probably do is I'll take him from you and I'll get Chris to have a proper look, and then we'll go from there, see what he wants to do.
Thank you.
We'll probably need to give some fluids and things by the sound of it, so, okay. Hi Chris, this is our little Joey.
Little thing.
So...
Little guy.
Yeah.
How you going there?
He's very quiet. He's pretty cold as well.
Yeah, the biggest thing for him right now is just going to be keeping warm. Can we grab some hot water bottles?
Yep.
And also a heat pad as well?
Yep.
You know, we might even take him straight through to the treatment room and get started on him straight away, because if we leave him like this for much longer, then he's not going to be with us for much longer. Okay. All right. Come through though. Sarah, can we get 2 10mm syringes of warm saline, please? Then a little bottle of warm mixed up dibetalact as well.
Yep, sure.
That'd be great. He's very cold, he's very dehydrated, and he just looks as though he's in a bit of shock as well.
I'm really surprised that he's still alive. I mean, they go downhill so quickly, and 3 days of cow's milk. They're lactose intolerant, so that would just go straight through him.
Bit of leg muscle here. That's just going to try and give his system a bit of a kickstart. It's a cortisone-based drug, so it, I guess, improves the circulation, just gets everything revved up, because right now his system's just crashing. It's really in decline, and unless we can lift it out of its doldrums and really get it going, then he just stands no chance. Could you get me just about a ml of glucose as well?
Yep.
And just dribble that in underneath. Just where my thumb there. That's plenty. The brain, all the tissues in the body need glucose to survive. Without it, he'll die. So the glucose under the tongue is absorbed very quickly in there, and it's just a bit of a stopgap measure to buy us a bit of time, because time, we don't have a lot of it right now, and we just need to use whatever we can.
Look all over there. Yeah, that's nice and warm.
Okay, great.
Mummy's milk.
If we go too fast, then that milk drips down the back of his throat, and he's too weak really to close off his larynx. Then that milk goes straight into his lungs, and if that happens, then it's going to be fatal. You just can't be impatient with them.
He hasn't been fed properly for 3 days, and normally in the pouch, he'd be continuously getting nutrients, having warmth from his mother, so I don't think it's very good.
Cow's milk is really not suited to them at all. It's got lactose. Now, lactose is a sugar that kangaroos just can't digest. Another 12 hours? No chance. But it's just possible we've got him in time. It's going to be really tough though.
Chris, you're still twitching a bit.
Yeah, I've noticed that. I think it's a bit of a shiver, but also the fact that his system's slowly reactivating itself. So he's starting to feel a bit more. He's probably been a bit cold and a bit numb.
Yeah.
Normally this little guy would be in his mum's pouch and be staying there for a number of weeks to come, but he's all of a sudden been ripped out of there and exposed to the harsh world. And you know, it can be cold out there, and with no reserves, no protection, it's always going to be a struggle. So Sarah, I thought we'd actually get him out and just try and rev him up a bit, because I'd say what's happening is that the warm blood's actually just pooling in his body.
Yeah.
It's not getting right around.
Absolutely.
So a bit of a massage Might actually help. Hey matey, wake up. Wake up. Hello. Hello. Little eyes open, don't they?
Yeah.
This is. Oh, look at you.
Oh, you're still legs.
Just tall legs, isn't it?
Yeah, stalking.
So, I might just lie down. Give it a bit of a massage. Because the veins, I think, have got warm blood in them, but
Yeah.
being so dehydrated, they're not getting the warm blood back to the rest of his body. I mean, it looks silly, but what that's doing is actually compressing the blood that's contained within his organs.
Okay.
And we're trying to circulate that right around. You can get a six-pack as
Doesn't
well.
seem to mind it, yeah, he will.
But he seems more responsive.
He is much more responsive, isn't he? He's sitting up
Do have
now.
ridiculously long legs though. Have you noticed that? I think you do.
Oh.
He has livened up over the last few hours, but you can just see he's just the epitome of skinny. There's just no body fat to him. He doesn't really have that much muscle there either. But he's responding. You know, he's looking around and he fights my movements a little bit, which is good. So the medication, the treatment we've given him so far has made a difference. We've managed to stimulate him quite a bit now, so it's lifted his heart rate, and hopefully that'll get the blood circulating around his body. And once that's done, then if we can then get warm blood into his system and get that moving around as well, then he'll start to spark up and his whole metabolism will kick into action as well.
I'll have to think of a name for him.
He came in a beanie, and I think beanie somehow suits him. And also, beanies are very Australian too, and he is as Australian as they come. Little battler, little Aussie battler. Little nod of
That
approval.
got it.
Yes, now that's the ticket. Right on. Oh yeah. Double nods. Yeah. More of the good stuff.
Sugar rush. Deteriorate.
I'm impressed the way he's come through the first 6 hours, but really the next 24 hours decides whether he has a future. He's basically had to grow up before his time. And it's up to him and it's up to us to see if he can actually survive that. He's got the fight of his life right now. Come on, Beanie, let's go on it. He's got the seat warmer on. Oh, it's pretty good for Beanie right now. I think we might have got off to a very rocky start. Fresh. Right, a Beanie of the bedroom. Welcome. Yeah. Bit of a electric blanket. We'll turn that up nice and high for you. Oh, gee, you are rich. Feed and change time, come on. How we going?
Hey Chris, how you going, mate?
Good, Perko.
Excellent.
It's all yours. Just mind that for me, will you?
Yeah, what have we got here, mate?
Just keep it warm.
There's been a few animals come home with Chris in the past probably 6 or so years that I've lived with him. But yeah, this is probably the weirdest bundle that's ever landed on my lap.
You alright?
It's okay, but I'm going to give it back now. It's been moving on my lap for a while, so kind of fun's over. Here you go.
So, Perko and Nick, please meet Beanie.
Beanie the what? Oh, it's a little baby Roo. Where'd you get Beanie from?
He came courtesy of a wildlife carer today. So we actually don't know where he's come from. He's a bit of a mystery man. What I'm doing right now is actually just covering him in lanolin. It serves two purposes. One, it moisturises his skin, but also it provides a bit of insulation to him. I'm just trying to really replicate what happens in his mum's pouch. In there, she's got a bit of mucus and some oils floating around, and they keep little Beanie nice and moisturised, whereas in the real world, there's nothing like that. Well done. Doesn't look the best, but still, well done. He just looks like some sort of alien with his long legs. It's been a real struggle, but I've managed to find the perfect drinking position for him, and he seems to prefer being quite upright. If you do squeeze his hand back, he seems to really enjoy that and actually start drinking quite feverishly. And you can see now he's drained that bottle. The man's got a thirst. You can hear these little squeaking sounds. Thankfully I've got his eyes covered so he can't see the monstrosity that has become his mother. Time for bed, Beanie. I find still the instinctive reaction is that there's too many layers and it's all too tightly wrapped around little Beanie. But in the mum's pouch, that's how it is. They're tightly packed in between the layers of skin there, and they seem to find comfort in being tightly wrapped up. If you leave them out in the open, they seem to really freak out. So it's the way they like it. There you go, mate. All right. Go, Beanie. I know from past experience that even though I'm meant to be getting up every 3 or 4 hours, it's not like that. Yeah, up on high for you. You don't get up, feed them, go back to bed, then get up again 3 hours later. You get up, fingers crossed, go and check that they're still alive, feed them, then go back to bed, but then you don't sleep. And it's just that constant nagging doubt and nagging worry the whole way through the night that they're actually not going to make it through the night. He's really guzzling it down, big time. Got up for the second feed. Hey, Beanie. Still wear this bundle, buddy? And just there was no movement. I had this routine where I'd touch the Beanie and Beanie would move in response, and did that, and there was nothing. The hard thing is that when he first came in, he looked for all the world like he wasn't going to make it, and we beat that hope. And then last night, for him to be drinking well and sitting up, and so you think in your back of your mind, hey, this one's going to make it. You know, this one will turn it all around, and then you get that shock, and that sucks. It really sucks. Right now, I'm on my way to an animal farm. The manager there called me and said that she's discovered a lamb dumped in a box on a front doorstep. Now, it sounds like it's got a broken leg. The thing about these sort of animals is, and it sounds terrible, if they have serious injuries, they're often regarded as being totally expendable. So he's just so lucky someone actually cares.
Come on, babies. No, is that yummy, is it? We get attached to animals very quick around here, even though we shouldn't. So usually people ring and ask, can we take them? And we take a couple animals every week, rabbits, guinea pigs, ducks, chickens, things like that. Hello, little one. How are you doing? Hey? Yesterday, I was working outside, saw somebody putting something over the fence in a box, opened it up, and there's a little lamb looking at us. Oh, sweetheart. That's it. We brought him out and we gave him a bottle. He was sitting on my lap, and it wasn't until we put him down after his bottle we noticed that he definitely had trouble with that leg. Animals with injuries, especially bad ones like legs, it's usually very difficult. So I think we can just cross our fingers and hope that he can be looked after.
Hey Lisa, how you going?
Hi, not too bad, thanks.
So where's this lamb?
He's just in here. So I got a little friend in here for him, but it's the smaller of the two.
Fluffy one over here.
That's him.
All right. Yeah, he's light, isn't he?
He is a bit.
Hey, mate. You all right? Okay. When Elisa called me and said that the lamb had a limp and his leg wasn't looking great, I thought, hopefully it's a sprain or potentially even a dislocation that can be put back in.
Temporary table?
So consult table, is it?
Yeah, temporary table.
All right. So I think the important thing is to work out whether it's a slight problem or if it's a major problem.
Yeah, that's right.
He's got quite a nasty fracture of the mid shaft of his femur.
Okay.
Everything's just crumbled in the middle of
Yeah,
him.
not attached properly.
Now he's either been kicked or he's been
Crushed.
run over or crushed in some way.
Yeah.
In terms of fractures that he could get, it's just about the worst. If nothing was done about the leg, then the sad reality is that the lamb would have had to have been put to sleep. He's a stoic little guy, he's tough, he just doesn't show a lot of pain. It's the table for sick animals, guys. No, sorry, can't do anything about that. We can hopefully try to do something, but there's a chance, if the fracture's severe enough and if it's right through the growth plates, that there won't be anything we can do. But we've got to give it a go. How can you just pack your gear up and walk away and say, no, it's too hard?
Come on, you. No, it's not your time. Hey, you're good.
I guess hopefully you can come back here and lead a good life. And by the looks of it, he's already made a lot of friends.
He's precious.
Yes. You look sad.
I am a bit. He's you're a little sweetheart. I shouldn't get attached, but I do.
We do need to talk about a name too. Leroy. As in Leroy Brown. Baddest lamb in the whole damn town. Aren't you?
Leroy. I think Leroy's cute.
See you
Good
later.
luck.
Thank you.
Thanks.
I'd love to say that I'm confident, but the reality is we don't fix too many fractures in lambs. You haven't seen me drive yet, Leroy. This is uncharted territory. We're not used to trying to repair fractured legs of lambs. We don't know that we can actually help him. Liesl, Leroy, Liesl.
Leroy. What you got?
Leroy. This doesn't feel like a simple fracture.
Yeah.
It's awful to feel. Okay, we'll x-ray that. Leroy's lucky in a sense that he's found himself in the city with an injury like this. Get out the country, it'd be all over. The lamb would have had to have been put to sleep. There's just no future. But here, he's got a chance. Hey mate, I'm sorry buddy. It's okay.
So this is a little bit strange, I know.
Yeah. Leroy can't take a trick right now. He's been abandoned. He's got a broken leg. What we need to do is start turning the table, starting to show him that things are going his way now.
X-ray.
It's okay, little one.
So, that's obviously what his femur's meant to look like. That's on his right side there. On his left side, when we're looking from above, you can see the bone comes out, it's been fractured, and now it's up like that. I think it's fixable. I'm sure it's fixable. The worry I have is that we may fix this break, but if there's significant nerve damage, then it may never return to the function it had before. The next step has to be surgery, but the problem we've got is that Leroy is filthy, and if we were to take him to surgery straight away, with all that contamination on his skin, that means a lot of bacteria, and bacteria getting into this would be the end of Leroy. But just go with it, all right? You'll be all right. There's a label here actually that says do not tumble dry as well, so.
Thanks for the shower.
Wring him out. You look at him and he's so defenceless and so alone, it's hard not to just offer him some sort of hope there. Is that? Oh yeah, it's that. Keep it. Go on. I'm sort of trying to pull back as much as I can emotionally and not get too involved with him. because we don't know that we can actually help him. I think that's it. The reality is that there's just no future for a three-legged lamb. The fact is, Leroy has to be able to walk if he's to go back to that animal farm. We're going to give him a chance, but whether that's enough, I just don't know. So that's the fracture there. You can see it's quite an explosive fracture. It looks as though it's just blown the two fragments apart. First step is to put a pin up through this one until it pops at the top. It looks a little bit grotesque, but that's the first anchor point that enables us to bring the top bit in line with the bottom bit of bone. Those two bones are aligned now. We've got the top fragment of the femur meeting the bottom fragment, and the pins allow them to be friends again and join in nice and strongly there. Looks pretty good. How's it going there, Jules?
He's good.
So far it has all gone pretty smoothly. Just the biggest complication is Leroy's anaesthetic. The problem we're facing is the fact that when he does make a change in how deep he is, he makes it drastically. So he goes from being almost awake to being so deep that it's almost dangerous. So it's just a constant juggling act between the extremes. We've had a few scares where he's just goes so deep all of a sudden that you've got to really check that he's breathing. He's still got a heartbeat, but he likes to hold his breath for quite a while. He's a bit of a daredevil under anaesthetic and likes to scare us. How's he going?
Good.
It's all right. Colour's all right.
Stable.
So right now we're closing up the laser muscle and the skin, but that big pin there's still to be cut. That sort of signifies the end of the operation. All right. That is a relief. That was tricky. That was really tricky. Important thing is that the leg can bend up quite nicely and it feels stable. This is what we mean by the roller coaster anaesthetic. He's now been off his gas for less than a minute and he's wanting to wake up right now. A dog or a cat would take 10 minutes to get to this point, but he's there right now. Well there, didn't you? You like to scare us, though, don't you? Hey, buddy. There we go.
X-ray.
Leave that alone. Leroy's leg's now starting to look like a leg. You can see the pins brought the two fragments together and two wires here wrap it in and stop it from rotating. He's certainly going to have a story to tell when he gets back and sees those goats and the dachshunds and all the other animals there. It's a shame we can't get sort of a hospital situation where we have visiting hours and all the goats could wander in one at a time. Rest up. No, stay off. No, I don't want you to use the leg just yet. No, see, it doesn't work yet. Hey, Leroy. What's all the noise about? Well, he seems very content with how things are going. We need to know if the bone is mending. It's all right, buddy. It's really just a matter of him learning to use that leg all over again. I mean, he's young, he's only learnt to walk a few weeks ago, but now he's actually got to learn to walk again in a new way. My biggest concern for Leroy right now is the risk of nerve damage. Without physiotherapy, he may never really walk normally again. Leroy, come on. And as strange as it might seem, walking around the clinic and following me is actually part of his physio. How you doing there? Slippery floors? You know why they're slippery? Because you wee on them, that's why. Leroy and I have certainly become a little attached. He just likes hanging out. I mean, obviously I'm good company. He enjoys hanging around. I mean, it's not my fault, is it? I need to know one thing. Are you going to miss me or are you going to miss this? I mean, that's the thing, isn't it? I'd like to think we're more than that. I think we've been through a lot, Leroy. My only concern is that whether Leroy now considers himself sheep or human.
The tough thing is that Leroy's come from a place where he had just a sea of friends. Leroy, blue sky, Leroy. Look at that. And so I think it might be time to hit the beach. Seen one like this before? It's a new breed, it's a Lambradoodle.
Is it?
There aren't many of them around. It's a Lambradoodle. What? You reckon she got it worked out?
No, not really.
See those little waves in the water? That's called chop. Next time you hear the word chop, run away as fast as you can. That's my life advice to you. The leg's performing really well. It's strong, you can see the muscles built up. Obviously he's now got faith in it. And when he hits that barnyard with the goats, with the dachshunds, with the other lambs, it's got to go up to standard. And I think it will be. This is the end of your limousine service. It's where the free ride ends, buddy. You've got to stand on your own 4 feet, don't you? Now, he was carried out of here. I'm pretty determined he's going to walk back in, though. He might even run. Come on, Leroy. Hey, Lisa.
Yeah?
Well, look who it is. Come on, Leroy. Come on, buddy.
Oh, hello, little one. Come on, hello.
Come on, buddy. Remember these guys, Leroy? Remember that one, don't you?
Hey, little mate.
Leroy, come inside. Everyone's waiting for you. Come on. Come on. Oh, yeah. Test out the leg. Show it off. See spots here? That's what you are. Hmm? You're a sheep, Leroy. My only regret is that we washed him before we brought him out here. I think we should have roughened him up. If you haven't noticed, he glows. He's so luminescent white. Leroy's almost like that brand new pair of joggers you're a bit embarrassed to wear out in public because they're just so white. I think once he starts rumbling with the goats and spots here, he'll look a bit tougher. He's had a very mixed up upbringing. Being on the farm, then in the city, now back on the farm. He's entitled to be a little bit confused, and so I'm expecting it's going to be difficult these next few days. But after that, he's going to be amongst friends, and that's the best place for him to be. Good looking guy.
Hello, darling. You going to be at home here? Back on the farm? Oh, it's a bit different from Bondi.
Had to leave us at some stage, didn't you? Oh. We've been through a lot. We gave him a second chance and he's grabbed it with both hands, paws, hooves, and he's really run with it. See you, champ. I've really been fighting, forming that bond, but he's Leroy Brown. He's part of the family. Where are you going? Leroy?
Leroy,
I'm sorry, buddy.
you got to stay here with me now.
So you, Mum. It's going to be hard driving off now, but no regrets at all. Just to see how lively he is and see that personality. I think the world without Leroy Brown would be a sad place.
Hello, come on.
If you guys loved that video, great. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel below. That way.